As we reported earlier, President Trump again praised North Korea's Kim Jong-un today in glowing terms. Mr. Trump has repeated that the nuclear weapons issue is now more important than 70 years of human rights atrocities committed by the Kim dynasty there. Foreign Affairs correspondent Nick Schifrin spoke today with two defectors to bring us that view from the North.
Of the 25 million residents of North Korea, more than 30,000 have escaped and lived to tell their stories. Sunju Lee and Ji Sung-ho are two of those defectors.
Well, my father was a former military officer in North Korea. I was born in Pyongyang, and my father was working for Kim Il-sung. He passed away. After he died, Kim Jong-il, second leader in North Korea, tried to clean the house. So that time, my father also made a political mistake by saying there is no hope in North Korea. That's why my family was expelled to countryside. When I was in Pyongyang, I was taught that North Korea is one of the best countries in the world. But on the train cargo to the second hometown, well, there were so many beggars. There were so many kind of kids begging food from people. I'll question my father, "Father, where are we now?" So my father told me that, "Well, son, this is the reality of North Korea."
저는 이제 북한에 있을 때 이제 항상
I was always told I should be happy and thankful to our dear leader. I believed I was happy until I looked around and saw the reality. People were dying and starving around me. When I was young, I saw my grandmother starve to death. I would steal coal from trains in order to trade it for food. And one day, I fell off the train. That's where I lost my hand and leg. This is where my hand was cut.
Although I was so hungry, my father forced me to go to school. One day, the principals gathered the students on the ground by saying that entire school will go to a public execution site to watch public execution. There was a man, he tried to steal the copper from factories, and he smuggled this to China. So he got 9 bullets from 3 police officers. And then there was a woman, he met a South Korean missionary in China. Her crime was high treason. So she got 9 bullets as well. My father told me that he wanted to go to China for food. Then I told him that don't go because that's really dangerous, because I saw a public execution.
And did he ever come back?
No, he didn't come back. He didn't come back. And then my mother left home. That is the last time that I could feel her. I had to survive by myself because I'm only child in my family. So I gathered friends, including me. We were 7.
It was a gang. Is that what you'd call it?
Actually, yes, it's gang because, I mean, at that time there are so many gangs. There are so many children gathered together because they have to protect each other.
Lee's grandfather found him on the streets and helped him escape to South Korea. Ji's journey, while disabled, was longer and harder.
I had to go to Laos, Myanmar, and Thailand and take a 6,000-kilometer journey to get to safety in South Korea. It took over 3 months. At one point in Laos, when I had to walk in the jungles on my crutches, it was just too hard, and I cried, and I said, why did I have to be born in North Korea? But I was on a journey to find freedom, and I promised to myself that if I made it to safety to South Korea, I would work hard to make sure nobody would have to go through what I went through.
We are joined by one more witness. His name is Mr. Ji Sung-ho.
That journey took him all the way to President Trump's 2017 State of the Union. And he says he supports President Trump's meeting with Kim Jong-un, but says it's important to talk about denuclearization and human rights.
I am hoping that this summit was not a one-off meeting. I hope there will be more summits and meetings between the U.S. and North Korea, and Trump will raise North Korean human rights.
Nuclear issue and human rights issue has to go together. United States is established based on values, which are freedom, democracy, and human rights. I really appreciate Americans because, I mean, you guys have these values, enjoy these values. Also, you guys have your own duty, which is that if you have freedom, if you have democracy, if you have human rights, then you have to share these values with those who don't have these values.
In the last few years, North Koreans have had more freedom to run independent businesses. Sun-Ju Lee predicts that will change the country.
Through markets, the new kind of a generation, new social class are growing. So if the number of these people are expanded, and then that's going to be time for change of the North Korea.
Sun-Ju Lee and Ji Sung-ho recently won a National Endowment for Democracy Award for work getting other North Koreans to safety. But Sun-Ju Lee's most important defector was from his own past.
And tell me how you responded when you found out your father was still alive.
Saw my father in South Korea. I just cried. There's nothing to say. When there was nothing to say, I'm literally just cried again. So my father approached me and he hugged me, and then saying, "Son, I'm so sorry." And both of us were crying.
You reunite with your father, and you're working to reunify Korea. Why?
Yes.
What does it mean to reunify Korea?
It's the only way to go home. That's my personal thinking. It's not government. It is for people living on the Korean Peninsula.
Until then, North Korea will remain a closed dictatorship, full of human rights abuses, as well as missiles and nuclear weapons. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Nick Schifrin.